Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your US General 5-drawer tool cart with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Wednesday. I'm just now making it to the storage. I just got off of work just now. Okay, earlier today, while I was at work, one of the service writers wound up catching a check engine light on one of their vehicles while we were at work, and due to the fact that we stopped servicing vehicles for quite some time ago, he wanted to take a little run over to a local auto zone. So in the process, I wound up taking a ride with him, and while I was in the auto zone, I actually happened to pick up a thing or two. All right, so in the process of that, we're gonna jump right into it, take a look at what we picked up. Okay, so let's get it. Okay, while I was in the auto zone, I did come across a particular item. You know, a mechanic and a technician's worst enemy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the missing 10mm socket solution that every technician, every mechanic, and every DIYer absolutely runs into, no matter what the situation is. Okay, the socket set is a 10mm socket set, which is a 10-piece, and as you can see, it covers a 1/4 inch and 3/8 drive. The part number on this item is 60-920. Okay, and as what you can see here, everything to the left is all 1/4 inch, and as you can see, it comes with a chrome 1/4 inch 10mm socket. The next following is a 10mm magnetic power socket. Then you get a 10mm universal joint. Then you get a 10mm mid-length chrome socket. Then also a 10mm deep. Okay, and this is the 1/4 inch, ranging from the shallow to its deep. And then as you can see here, moving on to the right, is your 3/8 drive, which is a shallow flank drive 10mm. Then you also have a 10mm shallow flank drive magnetic power socket, as you can see here. And then you have a 10mm 3/8 drive universal joint. Then you have a flank drive 10mm mid-length socket, as you can see here. Okay, and then you have your 3/8 drive 10mm deep. Okay, this set is 6-point metric, as you can see here, as far as what it covers. Okay, this was an item that was picked up from AutoZone, and as you can see, it is guaranteed for life. Okay, you can see what it's basically made out of, and as you see, it's magnetic impact sockets. So the power sockets are impact graded, as you can see. Okay, and then it also shows what the set includes: 1/4 inch drive, 6-point sockets, standard mid-length, deep flex, standard magnetic impact, and then you have 3/8 drive, 6-point sockets, standard mid-length, deep flex, standard magnetic impact. Okay, and then basically you could see where it's coming from and what the return policy is. If any Duralast hand tools ever fail, return it to any AutoZone store and it will be replaced free of charge. Okay, in the USA, distributed by Best Parts Incorporated, Memphis, Tennessee 38103. The item is made in Taiwan. Okay, so that you can get a good idea and description. It does come on a socket rail. The socket rail is actually not magnetic, as you can see. Okay, but I do believe that the rail can be held down by screws testically if you were mounting it to something, because you know the sockets lock in on top. So you know, you can possibly work something out with this, or just exchange it, you know, to your socket organization. Okay, so you know, this is a solution, because um there's always plenty of times, it's always that infamous 10mm socket that you're always dropping down into the engine bay and so on and so forth, and then the next thing you know, you need one of these, as you can see here. which are your magnetic pickup tools, okay, to extract the socket from wherever you possibly may drop it. And a lot of times, you may drop a 10 millimeter socket, and sometimes it just falls in the wrong location. You understand? You can be working in a particular area, it falls behind the fender, and then underneath the vehicle you have all sorts of different liners. Or you could be working in a kick panel area where it can simply come off, and it's just so easy to lose. And then at times, you are able to recover, but it be those particular times that you ain't capable of recovering, or you just lose it or misplace it. Okay, so as you can see that I will get into some 10 millimeter sockets, that I do have. I know that in detecting what is that, half-inch shallow, they don't start at 10 millimeter, they start at 11 millimeter, as you can see here. But in the deep, as you can tell, it starts at 10 millimeter. Okay, then right here, as you can see, this is a snap-on right here, as you can see. And this is a 10 millimeter deep magnetic. Okay, um not for nothing, let's see here. Okay, I have another shallow flank drive 10 millimeter socket, but as you can see, the length here, okay, is technically, a whole lot much more longer in comparison, okay, when it comes to the shallow of the 10 millimeters that you see in this Duralast set. This socket here is a socket made by Expert, okay, which is a sub brand of Mac Tools. I don't know if you can see that correctly. As you can see, Expert. Okay, so this is more of a mid-length, as you can see there. Okay, moving along. Well, I actually had to stop at a another store. Had to pick up another set of caliber, uh brake caliber hangers made by Laos, as you can see, part number 48020. I had the need to pick these up because a lot of times when I am doing the work, I used to have a long set of zip ties. So at times I used to use the zip ties, especially in instances where you performing certain work, and then auto parts delivery, sometimes they wind up delivering the wrong parts. So I used to basically use the zip ties, because at times when they order the wrong parts, and then when they go back into inventory and they realize that they don't have the part, and that you have to possibly wait until the following next day, so now customer's vehicle is staying in the shop overnight. You don't want nobody to basically mess with the components, that's already disassembled, so that you don't lose anything when it's time to get the correct parts and put everything back together. So that's just basically, what that is. Like I said, these are a time saver right here, and this is a headache solution of you basically, misplacing and losing, or dropping, or discarding, or 10 millimeter just happen to come up missing, because 10 millimeter is very common that we use throughout the day. And like I said, it is in 1/4 inch and 3/8 drive. The part number is 60920. Okay, and this product is lifetime guaranteed, as you can see, for life. Okay, so you shouldn't have no issues, with an item like this. You should be able to walk into any auto zone. There's auto zones basically all over the place, so it's not like they're out far in distance, whatever, and you just basically either give them the item, and they'll just basically replace it right then and there on the spot. Okay, so that's more enough that. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, yesterday I was asked a question by a subscriber on one of the videos, and they were asking, in my suggestion, in my opinion, because they were possibly looking to upgrade on an impact wrench in their applications as far as being a DIYer. So it's mainly more dependent upon the work that's involved in, what the applications require, if it's doing automotive work and so on and so forth. As you can see down here, okay, which is the Milwaukee quarter-inch hex, okay, which has a quick release collet, okay, and as you can see, it has three different modes and three different settings. You know, to be honest with you, this is more beneficial here in the automotive field, okay, because of the clearance that you can get and its power. Um, Technically, this does have a lot of kick, for it to be a shorter version in the M12 line. Okay, it is a very versatile tool between switching quarter-inch hex adapters to being able to use sockets, drilling bits. It's just all around multi-versatile. Okay, um, when in the field, as you can see, like I demonstrated in some other videos, as you can see, I also have the quarter-inch stubby with friction ring and anvil, but ring the quarter-inch with friction ring and anvil is used a whole lot less due to the fact of the quarter-inch hex that basically I have back here, which you already can see how I already have the adapter connected to it. Like, this is one of my most go-to between the two, okay? But as you can see right here is the 267 53 model right here, and this is a M18 model. So this is a whole lot much more stronger. At the prior moment, I just have its normal standard battery that comes in a kit with it, because it does come with two batteries in a kit that I technically don't really use because I have 5.0 batteries. But this gun is a whole lot much more stronger than the M12s. Now, with this version right here, as you can see, it is also a quarter-inch hex with a quarter-inch quick release collet here. Okay, um you can see in some other videos by some other channels, okay, where people have this particular Milwaukee quarter-inch hex impact wrench, and basically you can see them removing wheel lugs with this wrench right here using a quarter-inch hex adapter. Okay, so in order to remove wheel lug nuts, okay, with a quarter-inch adapter, that's kind of incredible, because that's a lot of force that's being applied to a quarter-inch hex shank. And a lot of times, too much torque, too much pressure, they will snap them. Okay, so this does have a lot of force. So more enough, this can be utilized, in the automotive field. Plus, it can be utilized in many different other areas. If you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, home DIYer, like, it's multi versatile also. But just alone in the automotive field, in its design, I technically don't use it as much as far as what I do at the prior moment, due to its battery design. It's more easier basically for me to get in with these two designs. But that's not to say that this wrench is useless, okay, because there is other work that I basically perform. In order for any of these tools or any other Milwaukee tool that I have, they wouldn't even exist if I didn't have this one, because this was the first one that I actually purchased that came with the charger and came with the batteries. Even though I don't use the batteries, it was more enough the charger that I needed that charges both systems, which is the M18 and the M12. So as you can see, as I have the Milwaukee High Torque is an M18 line. It's not an M12 line. Okay, so just just to shed a little light on that. And when they ask, and my suggestion, you could go to a place like your local Home Depot or something like that, or normal retail seller, and just basically purchase the tool. You don't necessarily have to buy the kit, because a lot of times people are being overcharged um, for the complete kit when you can just basically pick up the bare tool at a reasonable price, and basically you can buy the multi-system charger from a different platform such as eBay or something like that for dirt cheap. And you can basically pick up the batteries for a whole lot much more cheaper than you would in a normal retailer also, because a lot of these batteries in major retailers like Home Depot and so on and so forth, some of the batteries over succeed the price value of the tool itself. So that's what really costs the money, is the batteries that's driving the tool. So this is why, I don't use its normal standard, whatever this is, a 1.5 or 2.0 battery. Anytime that I would need to basically go to these particular type tools, I'm using 5.0s and better. Okay. So yeah, this is, basically what your kit will be looking like. And this is the 2753 model. I believe this is the 2753-22. And the reason why it has the 22 is because it comes basically with two batteries, okay, as you can see here in its casing. And on this side, this is the M12 line right here, and basically this is the M18 line right there. So this is basically how the kit would basically look, okay, just to get an idea. All right. Okay, so yeah, like I said, and my suggestion, depending upon your application, and as far as what type of work you are possibly trying to do, I would advise the 1/4 inch hex stubby, okay, which is an M12 line, okay. But if you want to go more high end power, I do suggest that wrench that I just showed you, which is an M18 model right here, okay. But if you actually needed a different type of wrench that actually has an anvil and friction ring, then I would tell you and suggest to go here, okay, to something like this 3/8 stubby. As you can see, and the part number is 2554-20, okay. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this video up on a day, okay? And as always and as usual, everybody enjoy the rest of the evening out there until that next tool or next tool review come, okay? Peace.